Welcome to this channel, guys. Today I will be recapping the Love, Death and Robot series. Each episode has an interesting storyline on its own, so please relax and enjoy this video. First episode is called The Screaming of the Tyrannosaur. This episode begins with a narration that tells us that space was once an unreachable frontier, but it's now a dazzling playground for Earth's children. The people are gathered at the glorious skies of Jupiter to witness the sacred marriage of their glorious regent, Lord Shalon of Europa, and the Duchess, Soraka of Callisto. Their love must be tempered with ritual and ceremony. They hold a diabolical race tournament to use to entertain their regent. They called out the riders that will participate in the tournament. They are revealed to be slaves who have gotten years of discipline and training that forged them into the perfect warriors. Each of them are blessed with the strength and ferocity of their totem spirit. A Chinese participant tells us that her sigil marks her as wild and untamed. It's a secret prayer for her longing to be free. Just as the race begins, dozens of Triceratops are released into the arena. The participants uses it as a weapon in the race, and they started to kill one another as they get to the finish line. The Chinese participant wins the race, but the leaders weren't ready to set her free. They want to give her a more tougher challenge. They release nature's most savagely primal creation called the Tyrannosaur to fight the Chinese participant. Smartly, she controls a Triceratop to fight against the beast. She injured the Tyrannosaur really badly using the Triceratop, who died immediately. Tyrannosaur is also a slave beast, so the Chinese participant decided to join forces with the Tyrannosaur to fight the leaders. Together, they killed everyone, and that was how this episode ended. Episode 2, Close Encounters of the Mini-Kind. In this episode, everything in this universe seems to be so tiny, even their voices. We see police cars speeding towards an alien spaceship, and pointing their guns. A sheriff tells the other officers to follow his lead, and they will be home in time for dinner. An alien king with two of his minions suddenly comes out from the ship, and assures that they mean no harm to humans but they come in peace. But the sheriff concludes that the aliens has guns, and opens fire at them. They all died apart from one, which the police chased all around. They open an unstoppable fire towards the alien, and this led the police officers into killing one another out of mistake, because the alien dodged all their bullets. The sheriff, who is the only survivor, pounces at the alien and kills it by striking its head with his gun, but ended up shooting at himself in the process. But this isn't over, as things started to take a really dark turn. We hear a beeping sound from the ship, and the scene takes us out of the Earth planet, where we see millions of alien spaceships approaching Earth. At a farmyard, a farmer wakes up early in the morning to do his usual morning routine, like kissing his cow on the forehead, and extracting milk out of it for breakfast. Kissing his cow was weird, and drinking milk from the cow directly was more weirder, but what really caught me off guard was when the farmer pulled out his clothes and wanted to even have sex with it. The man suddenly gets dragged by an alien spaceship. We see him in a kind of dark room, where the aliens does some kind of experiment on his butt. In the city, an alien conspiracist rushes into town to warn the people that the aliens are here, but it's already too late as we see hundreds of people being elevated to the alien spaceship. The aliens destroyed everywhere, and even killed millions of people. The surviving humans decided to fight back. Some managed to take the alien guns, and this gave them the upper hand as they chased the aliens out of Earth. Just as the US government gives a speech to celebrate their victory, a gigantic alien tripod shows up and kills the president, and eliminated the whole crowd with just a blast. The alien tripod gained control over the city for days, destroyed everything it came across, but the humans later found a way to bring down the tripod. After they defeated it, everyone starts to collect each parts of the alien tripod and used it to make weapons for themselves. They used it to chase the aliens away again. The humans suddenly decided to join the alien weapons together to make a massive weapon, but this suddenly creates a gigantic black hole that did not only swallow the city, it as well swallowed Earth, and every other planets in the universe. And that was how this episode ended. Next episode is called, The Other Large Things. This episode begins with a voice, telling us how this world is a clenched, feculent sphincter, packed with filth and diseases. This voice comes from a house cat who believes he is the hero that will be able to release the world from what it's going through. The cat name is revealed to be Sanchez. He is disappointed to find his plate still empty. According to him, he can't plot a total global domination on an empty stomach. He wonders where his pathetic minions are. They should have come home by now. Two couples called Todd and Margie suddenly enters inside the house carrying something really heavy inside a carton. They are the owners of the cat, but to the cat, he just sees them as his minions with a duty to attend to his needs. Sanchez speaks as if they would understand him. He says he will consume their liver straight out of their ribs, as a warning to others who deny him. He then says they should feed him, but it's just talking to himself because they don't understand him. Todd and Margie unveils what they brought inside the house, and it is revealed to be a robot. They place their credit card on the robot, and the couples are so excited to see it get activated. Sanchez sees the robot as a plastic child. As he tries to approach the robot suddenly does some analysis on the cat, and places the cat where it should be. Sanchez is disappointed on how he could easily be defeated by the plastic child. Maybe he must be weakened by lack of food. Todd asks the robot to take out a drink from the fridge. Just as it obeys their command, they drink and smash the bottle on the ground for the robot to clean it. Todd kicks it on the head, telling it to wash their dishes and prepare dinner for them, while the couples kiss each other as they head towards their room to make out. To Sanchez's surprise, the robot asks him if he's hungry. Sanchez is so surprised the robot understands him. The robot explains that when he confronted him earlier, he went online to learn his speech. Sanchez tells the robot he is hungry and he needs to be fed. The robot suddenly opens a cupboard in the house where food is kept. It explains that his user agreement gives him permission to control anything connected to the network, including doors and lock appliances. The robot gives the cat dozens of tuna food, and it becomes really satisfied. Sanchez asks where they can find more tuna. The robot answers that he can order him some because his user's agreement gives him permission to use Todd's credit card. Sanchez doesn't know what that means, but commends the robot for doing well and decided to reward him for his service. He wants to give the robot a name, but the robot claims to have one, stating out some numbers as its name, but Sanchez calls it a terrible name, saying his name for him will be much better, and gives it a name called Thumbbringer. The robot thanks Sanchez for he really likes the name. Sanchez tells Thumbbringer that Sanchez is not his true name. He only allows those two large beings to call him that, but they do not deserve to know his actual name. He tells the robot that he will one day earn the right to know his name. The robot replies that he will live for that day, because Sanchez is much nicer to him than the other two. The next morning, when Todd and Maggie went to have breakfast, the robot tells Sanchez that Todd will soon start wondering what happened to all the tunas, but Sanchez replies that the robot tells them nothing. The robot tells Sanchez that Todd will soon be notified about the unexpected charges on his credit card. It is revealed that Sanchez and the robot made a plan last night. They used Todd's credit card to send robots to every cat in this building, along with a can of tuna to sweeten the deal. Thumbbringer tells Sanchez that they must go to show the cats on how to ally with their robot against their human subjugators. They left the house and locked Todd and Maggie inside the apartment. Just after all the cats allied with their robot and joined forces with Sanchez, who plans to take over the world, Thumbbringer sets a fire inside Todd's and Maggie's apartment. The couples tried to escape, but they have been locked inside and it's obvious they are screwed. The episode ends with Sanchez saying they are about to begin the new age, the age of Dingleberry Jones. Next episode is called Golgotha. This episode begins telling us about a breaking news. A delegation from aliens known as the Lupo have just made contact with the United Nations. The entire world has been gripped by fear since the alien spaceships first appeared in Earth's orbit, and the extraterrestrial visitors have, until now, maintained a profound silence. But in a dramatic turn of event, the Lupo express their desire to communicate with someone. A priest called Donal is confused why is him the aliens want to speak to. Donal is cleared out by the bishop that the Lupo wants to speak to the priest who witnessed and proclaimed the Black Fin resurrection. Okay, let me explain. These aliens sees a particular dolphin called Black Fin as their god. An oil spilled into the ocean and this killed Black Fin, but miraculously, Black Fin resurrected from the dead. When they arrived at the place the alien asked to see Donal, they see hundreds of people protesting there shouting "Save us," saying God is not a fish. The bishop warns Donal that the church is still formulating its position in regard to these Lupo, and tells Donal not to screw it up. The general explains to Donal that the Lupo are sea dwellers, their home is a gas giant, 50 light years away. They understand little of the Lupo culture or intentions, but what they are worried about is their lack of knowledge about the Lupo military capabilities. The general wants Donal to be careful with his every conversation with the Lupo, as they don't want to start a war with the aliens. When Donal goes close to the ocean, he yells out on how he is going to know that the Lupo are arriving. A large tripod suddenly emerges from the sky, and a Lupo comes out from it. The Lupo greets Father Donal, and asks him to accompany her. The Lupo asks Father Donal if he considers himself as a religious man. Father Donal sees this as a rather strange question, considering his profession. The Lupo asked if he witnessed the resurrection of the Black Fin. Father Donal answers that the resurrection is what the books called it, but the church had a different view. Black Fin suddenly shows up at the bottom of the sea. It's revealed to be a dolphin. The Lupo tells the priest to kneel before their Messiah. Black Fin passes a message to the Lupo and goes away. The Lupo tells Father Donal that their god, Black Fin, has shown their benediction on this world, who wants them to commit a rampant murder on every human in Earth. Father Donal tries to reason with the Lupo, but it ignores him as it dives inside the ocean. An army of alien spaceships suddenly shows up and begin to blast everywhere. The bishop asks Donal what in Christ's name is happening. Donal replies saying they all screwed up. And that was how this episode ended. Next episode, Can't Stop. This episode begins with a very loud cheering coming from a very massive crowd. The crowd seems so excited and happy. It is revealed to us that it's because of a musical band. The band leader comes out to sing, while we see his band members playing their instruments. The song was so good, and it's obviously their immense talent that has made the people in this town to be so crazy about them. We notice something odd in this animation. Everyone here seemed to be a puppet being controlled. We see some women from the crowd showing the band their nudes, and some even went unconscious because they couldn't contain the insane joy they felt. This animation is somehow weird, but at the same time, it was beautiful. The crowd light their candles as they enjoy different emotional moments of the songs, and that was how the episode ended.